Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to this video. I hope everyone's having a wonderful day. We are going to go on a rant slash beware, be on the lookout video here, I guess you could say, is what we're going to mix this into. So all of y'all know that things are crazy out in this world, but I'm going to give you a little bit of a story of something that happened just the other day at the grocery store once we left the store with our groceries into the parking lot. So if y'all were watching the other day on my husband's channel, if you haven't already checked that out, go to Storm of Truth, you will see that he done a live while we were grocery shopping. And so y'all are kind of going to know the details of this video just a little bit as I tell this story if you were actually there watching that live. But in case you weren't, I'm going to let you know in this video too. So he was doing a live video showing grocery prices, and some of the things like that. The store was packed. There was a ton of people in there. I'm guessing it's probably because within like the last week or so they have cut the benefits back on, stuff like that. So the stores went from really empty to a whole lot of people in there. So that probably wasn't the greatest day for us to go shopping. But I had it on my mind because I am restocking the freezer this month. I had already made one trip because I only get so much at a time. That way I can get it all done without having to worry about anything ruining. And then I go back and get some more. So I was going back again to get a small amount of meat. It's not a whole bunch. I'll tell you how much in just a minute. Can I give you a heads up and you'll know what I'm talking about? To continue restocking the freezer back so that it's fresh meats in there and it's not old stuff. So that we have like a month or so ahead of stuff in the freezer. That way, if there's a reason that I can't get to the store or don't want to go to the store because, maybe there's crazies out there and you just don't want to go to the store, and I'm going to show you, or I'm going to tell you why, and just so you see why I might consider that. So we went to the grocery store. If anybody was watching that live, you will see that, we got 3 kids, from 12-year-old to an 8-month-old. So, we can take up a little bit of space. So we got a buggy. And if y'all know Faith, she's the oldest, she was pushing the baby in one of the buggies that was in her car seat. So, baby's in a car seat, taking up a buggy. Hannah, she's 9-year-old, she's used to being the baby for the last, 9 years. So, she's used to, if she wants to get in the buggy or something like that, especially if it's more crowded in the store, she likes to ride, so she doesn't have to worry about all the buggies and the crazy people in there wanting to try to run over or something. So she asked her dad, she said, "Dad, will you put me in the buggy?" So we put her in a buggy. So y'all know right there, if you're keeping up with this, we've got 2 buggies right now. One's got a baby in a car seat. One's got a 9-year-old. If you put a 9-year-old in a buggy right now, she's going to take up most of it. So I'm not wanting to put raw meat packages in that buggy with her, and to keep from having to put all of them up underneath the bottom of it, or maybe where I can keep some stuff separate, I grab another buggy. No big deal, right? Okay, so we do our grocery shopping, get to the register, checkout, and I think it's like $127. Y'all know that $127 worth of meats, you can carry out with both hands. Like, that's hardly nothing at today's grocery prices. You can easily carry out $100, especially if it's meats and stuff that weighs a little bit. So that's not many groceries at all. Okay, we get ready, we check out. Jeff finishes up the live stream. We go out to the van and we start loading it up. We're putting kids in the van. We get them loaded up and he starts putting the buggies together to go take the buggies and put them up into the little buggy corral thing or whatever you call that. And this crazy woman comes through the parking lot. And there's always got to be that one nut of the bunch. And I'm just going to say it like it is. There's locals around here that does watch these channels that we bumped into. So, if you're that woman that hears this and sees this, well, yeah, I'm talking about you if you was to catch this video somehow or another. Just probably my luck that it would possibly happen. You stumble across this video. But she walks up to Jeff while he's doing it. I haven't gotten the van all the way. We're just now starting to close down the back of the van. The kids are loaded, buckled up. And he's putting these buggies together, and she says, "I'll take one of those." He said, "Okay." So he's handing her one of the buggies, and she goes, "You mean to tell me that you got so much that you had to have 3 buggies? I ain't never in my life seen somebody crazy enough at the grocery store that had to have 3 buggies. Well, first off, you obviously haven't watched YouTube with some people that has like 20 kids. You know, in Britain and America, you know, there's large families and they take quite a few buggies for groceries. There's 5 of us. We're feeding 5 of us because even though the baby still takes her milk, she's also eating baby food too. So, you know, if I buy a bag of sweet potatoes, I get extras because I cook her sweet potatoes and stuff like that too. So, you know, there's 5 mouths there we're feeding. So it does take quite a good bit of groceries. But I'd only spent a little over $100. So it's not like we had 3 buggyfuls. Most of our buggies were taken up with children, which is another flaw with a lot of people in this society today. They probably don't like the idea that I had a buggy full of kids either. But she's smart enough and he's like, man, we had 2 buggies full of kids. We had to have 3 buggies. And she just keeps on. Like, just keeping on. That's the greatest thing I ever seen. I mean, that's ridiculous to have 3 buggies and all this kind of stuff. And I'm just like, okay, let's just go ahead and load up in the van before my crazy mama comes out. Because I'm about ready to snap. I have a teething baby right now. So some nights I get good sleep. Some nights I don't. The world is absolutely crazy. Grocery prices are not down less than they have been in years, regardless of what anybody sitting anywhere says. And I just had to go pay those ridiculous grocery prices to feed this family that you are now complaining that I have because I had to have 3 buggies to tote them. Well, I'm sorry that I didn't throw the 9-year-old on my back while I put the other one in her car seat in one arm and tote the groceries on the other side. Excuse me, pardon me, woman, for, you know, being such a pain and using 3 of those buggies. There was only like 150 of them still at the front of the store that you could choose from. And you had to come over here to this one spot and smart off about the 3 buggies that we were so kindly putting together to put into the buggy corral. You know, we could have just left them out in the parking lot and took all the parking spots up at the front where you couldn't have pulled your vehicle up there. You know, we were being nice about it. But that's what I have to say is, if you're going out in public right now and you're going to shop somewhere, put your game face on. Be ready. Say a prayer before you go in. And possibly put your hand over your mouth, because that way you'll try not to say what you're really thinking in your head. Because sometimes if my mouth don't say it, my face will. And that day my face probably did, because I was trying to keep my mouth from saying it. Because if you want to make somebody really mad right now, and this is out to men, women, whoever you may be, if you really want to make somebody mad right now, go up to a mama that is trying to feed her kids in this crazy world with these crazy prices, and start smarting off because she bought $100 worth of groceries because she had to use a few buggies to carry them. If you do that, especially with no sleep, she might snap on you. She just might. I don't know. She could lose her cool because she's probably not feeling that well. She's exhausted and she don't want to put up with you. So find you something else better to do than to go around and smart off to people. Mind your own business. And life would be a lot better world if people would, you know, have a little compassion, have a little empathy for people, you know. People are struggling to put food on the table, and then when they do put a little bit on the table, somebody has to come and smart off about the way that they carry the buggies out. So that craziness is already here. We know that it's been here for a long time, but it's just getting a whole lot worse. So keep your guards up, ladies and gentlemen. Be on the lookout for those crazy people, because you never know when they're going to come out of the woodwork and have to smart off to you about something because they're having a bad day. So whatever you want to say about it, leave it in the comments down below. If you had a crazy grocery experience here lately with everything that's going on, if you have, let's hear your story so we can all complain about it and have something to do. You can either laugh about it, cry about it, smart off about it, cuss about it. I don't know. Whatever it is, your preference, I guess. But I just chose to get in the vehicle and just keep my mouth shut because that was probably the best thing to do that day. So if you made it this far, give this video a like. Thanks for watching. Be sure to hit that subscribe button. I'll see you in the next one. Stay safe. God bless you. and keep prepping.